Now let's see the concept of relative speed. So relative speed means in reference with something else, right? So the speed of one moving body in relation to another moving body is called the relative speed of these bodies. Speed of the bodies according to each other. So this is nothing but the speed of the bodies according to each other. Now whenever I say that the speed of one body in relative to the other body, then we have to even consider the directions in which they are going to move. In case if both are moving in the same direction, then the relative speed is going to be different. In case if both are moving in the opposite direction, then the relative speed is going to be different, right? I'll just explain you with examples here. Now let's see the case where both the bodies are moving in the same direction. If the two bodies are moving in the same direction at x kilometers per hour and y kilometers per hour, where x is greater than y, then their relative speed is given by x minus y kilometers per hour. Right? So how to see this one is, or how to visualize this one is, you can assume that there are two bodies, okay, and both the bodies are moving at, one body is moving at let's say x kilometers per hour, right, and the other body is moving at, let's say, y kilometers per hour. Now if you let them move for 1 hour, how many kilometers will it be? And also assume that initially both are starting at the same point. See, this assumption need not be required, but just to make things simple, I am just making this assumption. Assume that both are starting at the same point. Now what happens? Here condition is given that x is greater than y, which means this body is moving faster compared to this body. Now if I let this body move for 1 hour, how many kilometers will it be covering? It will be able to cover x kilometers, right? And if I let this body move for 1 hour, how many kilometers it will be covering? Y kilometers, isn't it? Now after 1 hour, if you see where they are standing, let us say this is the starting point. Now one body has covered x kilometers, right, from here to here. Let us say the distance is x kilometers, right, and the other body has covered y kilometers. Let us say from here to here it is y kilometers, right? Now if you observe this, one body will be standing here and the other body will be standing here after one hour. Therefore the distance between these two is now actually x minus y, right? Therefore the distance between these two is increasing at a rate of x minus y kilometers per hour. Are you getting this? These two bodies are going to be separated at a rate of x minus y kilometers per hour, right? So that is why the relative speed is x minus y kilometers per hour. Now if you want to look at an example, you can think of it this way. Let us say this body is moving at 20 kilometers per hour and this body is moving at, let's say, 10 kilometers per hour. Now if you let this body move for 1 kilometer, it will be able to cover 20 kilometers, right? And if you let this body move for 1 hour, it is going to cover 10 kilometers. Now after 1 hour, if you see that the distance between them will be 10 kilometers, which means both are going to be separated by 10 kilometers every 1 hour. Therefore the distance between them is growing at a rate of 10 kilometers per hour, which means higher minus lower divided by 1 hour, right? Kilometers per hour. Okay, so that is how the relative speed can be visualized in the case when they are moving in the same direction, right? Now how to see the relative speed when they are going in the opposite direction is, let's see this one. Now if the two bodies are moving in the opposite direction at x kilometers per hour and y kilometers per hour, then their speed is x plus y kilometers per hour. Then their speed means then their relative speed. Okay, speed in this case it is relative speed, right? We can also call it, then the relative speed is x plus y kilometers per hour. How to visualize this one is, you can assume that both are moving in the opposite direction, right? Let us say one body is starting from this point and the other body is starting from this point, right? Now let us say here the speed of this body is x kilometers per hour and the speed of this body is y kilometers per hour. Now if I let this body move for 1 hour, it is going to cover a distance of x kilometers, isn't it? And the body, if it has started here, it is going to stand here in 1 hour. And if in the same time the other body is going to cover, let's say if it has started here, it will reach this point, therefore it is going to cover y kilometers. Now if you observe this, the distance between them has been reduced by x plus y kilometers. Initially if the distance is something, now the distance between them has reduced by x plus y kilometers in 1 hour, which means every hour they will be moving closer by x plus y kilometers, right? So the distance between these two bodies will be shrinking at a rate of x plus y kilometers per hour. That is why the relative speed between them is x plus y kilometers per hour. Now if you want to see it using a numerical example, you can assume that this body is moving at 20 kilometers per hour and this body is moving at, let's say, 30 kilometers per hour. Now if I let these bodies move for 1 hour, this will be covering 20 kilometers and this will be covering 30 kilometers, which means every 1 hour both of them will be coming closer, or the distance between them will be shrinking at a rate of 20 plus 30, which means 50 kilometers per hour. Got it? Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.